everyone, I'm Kate Andrews, and here's a look at what is going on this week in the news. We begin from around the world. On Saturday, August 15th, Catholics around the world will celebrate the Feast of the Assumption. However, in France, churches have been placed under police protection to guard against possible Islamist attacks. The country's Interior Ministry and Bishops' Conference released a joint message urging Catholics to look out for unusual behavior. It also advised people not to leave bags on seats when receiving communion and to watch out for visitors who appeared nervous. In April, French Prime Minister Manuel Valls placed 178 Catholic churches under permanent police guard after 3 people were arrested for planning an armed attack on churches. Several Catholic sites have since been attacked. The Bishops' Conference announced that church bells will ring August 15th across France in solidarity with persecuted Christians in the Middle East. In news from the Vatican, while most septuagenarians are retired and reducing their daily commitments, Pope Francis seems to be ramping up his schedule. Rome Reports introduces us to His Holiness's new doctor that will keep the Pope healthy throughout his upcoming travels.
Pope Francis is unusually energetic and active for a 78-year-old, but the state of his health still generates headlines across the world. So who is the man that makes sure the Pope stays in tip-top shape? Dr. Fabrizio Sikorsky has just been appointed as Pope Francis's personal physician. The 73-year-old doctor will accompany the Pope when he visits the United States and Cuba next month. After receiving a degree in medicine and surgery from La Sapienza University in 1968, the doctor received his license to practice a year later. But the new doctor is also familiar with the Vatican. He advises Vatican City's Department of Health and Hygiene. He has also lent his expertise to the Medical Committee for the Congregation of the Causes of Saints. The Pope's previous doctor, Patrizio Polisca, will remain as Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI's doctor.
Back to news from around the world. In China, Cardinal John Tong Hon of Hong Kong has issued an appeal to Communist Party leaders in Beijing. In it, he calls on them to halt an ongoing cross-removal campaign from Christian churches in Zhejiang province. The Cardinal also called on Catholics in Hong Kong to pray and fast for religious dignity and freedom. The campaign has removed more than 1,200 crosses. This is the second call to end the campaign. Earlier in August, Anglican Archbishop Paul Kwong of Hong Kong spoke out against cross removals. Zhejiang province is home to an estimated 2 million Christians, including 210,000 Catholics. Back to news from the Vatican. Though he might seem like a workaholic, even Pope Francis knows that life can't be all work and no play. In his weekly general audience, he spoke about the importance of taking time to celebrate. Rome Reports takes us to the Paul VI Audience Hall for more.
The importance of leading a balanced life. This is what Pope Francis talked about in his weekly general audience as he started off a new series of catechesis. The Pope explained that dedicating time to celebration, work, and prayer are all needed to appreciate a healthy family life.
Ci appare come un capolavoro di semplicità, bello proprio perché non artificiale, non finto, ma capace di incorporare in sé tutti gli aspetti della vita vera.
Balancing these 3 elements will be one of the central themes of the World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia, which the Pope will attend at the end of September. The Pope emphasized that despite society's obsession with economic profit, celebration and prayer are needed to reflect on one's life and to reflect on God.
El hombre como imagen de Dios es Señor y no esclavo del trabajo. Nos pide liberarnos de la obsesión por el beneficio económico que ataca los ritmos humanos de la vida y niega al hombre el tiempo para lo realmente importante.
The Pope then added that even God took a day to rest. As such, families should follow this example by enjoying quality time together as a unit, and that includes making time for Sunday Mass. Enjoying one's personal and professional accomplishments, he added, should be celebrated and not discouraged.
La festa è un prezioso regalo di Dio, un prezioso regalo che Dio ha fatto alla famiglia umana. Non roviniamolo.
During the month of August, the weekly general audience is being held indoors in the Vatican's Paul VI Hall. This to escape Rome's intense summer heat.
Earlier this week, we reported on the altar furnishings the Pope will use at Mass at Madison Square Garden. But when he celebrates Mass on the east steps of the National Shrine in Washington, D.C. to canonize Blessed Juniper Serra, the altar will be made by Deacon Dave Cahoon of St. Joseph Carpentry Shop. It was in that same shop in 2008 that Deacon Cahoon built the altar Pope Benedict XVI used at national parks in Washington. The altar was designed by Catholic University architecture students and will be used in the shrine afterward. Deacon Cahoon said he was inspired by Pope Francis's encyclical Laudato Si to use materials that had not involved exploitation of the environment or of indigenous workers. Well, that is all the information we have for you this time. I'm Kate Andrews. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.